Welcome up, what is back? Today we're playing Syria and Victoria 3. Last episode we passed no migration controls, we kind of had more pains trying to start wars in Arabia, these sorts of things. Right now we're running a little bit of a deficit, and so what we will do is we will decrease our construction center just another notch here in the capital of Adana. To try and handle this a little bit, and we are hoping to kind of build through it. One thing is running a deficit. You pay a lot more interest when you are a unrecognized country, which we are, and also when you're a smaller country, which we kind of are. So running deficit spending becomes a very strong mechanic in some situations, and then it becomes a very something you want to avoid when you're playing as a small country that cannot get a very good interest rate, and so we will take it on pause. Our temporary revenue transfer is not as good as when we first joined the Russian market. Also, we did join Russia's market, which is another big thing. They colonized Sakhalin along with us, which is an annoying thing. But currently, Chile. Looks like Chile got a little bit of a war there. But currently, we are kind of not getting the full benefits of being inside Russia's market. The real reason you want to be inside someone's market is so you can siphon off the pops from them. And we're kind of only a little bit ahead of them in terms of SOL. And so this means we're not siphoning off a whole ton, but we have a bunch of negatives. One of these I was not even aware of until last episode. You cannot integrate countries who you've puppeted while you are inside someone's market. So we cannot integrate Bahrain while we're inside Russia's market. But okay, we will also take a look and try and see if we can improve relations with some other people who we don't want to be mad at us. I suppose we'll take Spain. No, we'd rather have the decay. Cape Colony's improving relations. We did just declare an interest down here. I'm not sure how useful this interest will be. The big one is we can either make vassal out of Zululand, which would be useful. And Great Britain and France might join against us, but I think we can just land Zululand, and then we can get into Transvaal, and Transvaal tends to have a lot of resources, and so this will be a little avenue for expansion that is relatively soft when our infamy decay is low. We also might, try and save and go after Kathiri again. Last time we joined, Russia joined against us for whatever reason, which is just very strange. Kind of turn of affairs, because they were willing to support us in almost every other war, but not this one. We're getting the deficit down quite a little bit more. I think I'm going to try and build through this deficit. We have a bunch of iron in the queue, and one of our biggest expenses is our construction expenses, and of our construction expenses, what we're paying quite a bit for is in fact iron, and so now if we can try and bring the price of iron down a little bit, I think that'll help quite a lot. And I'm hoping we won't need to delete another construction center. I really hate doing it because I love constructing. And so right now our deficit is roughly equal to the interest we're paying, which is not the worst. It's going back to our pops. It makes the Industrialists very powerful. They're currently very powerful, but this is not really a good thing or a bad thing. So I think we will actually take a little bit of a save here, and we're going to go after Cathari. We're just gonna see if we don't get randomly clapped. This is the annoying thing about expanding in Arabia as a strategic region, is that other countries are really likely to stick their finger in your pie. Some of them have gone down, there aren't so many here, but if either France, Russia, Austria, Ottomans, or Great Britain, or Egypt, if any one of these join and play against us, we just get clapped. I think we're just gonna vassalize here, so we can declare another war. And now look, Russia sided against us before, but now they want to side on our side. And it's just like insane. We'll take a look at this interest group later to death in just a sec. The leader of the Intelligentsia died, so we will see his new... we got a moderate. Okay, that's whatever. We're trying to get the trade unionists happy, but it's a little bit difficult. Part of this that's helping those we're enacting census suffrage. We'll take extra radicals from discrimination. We're going to look to get rid of discrimination. It's been a little tough because we can't get the liberals in the government, but let's take a look at, who we can sway. We can now sway Austria to our side. It doesn't even say Russia is swayable to our side anymore, but Austria will be fine. A big thing to note is that since we have a front with Cathari, we're just going to mobilize one guy and put him on the front. Since we have a front, did another politician die? No, it's the same guy. Since we have a front, an enemy joining a war is really a big deal. We can't deal with it, basically. If we decree... Perfect. If we declared war against Liege instead, what would happen is, let's start damaging relations with them so we could declare on them. If we had declared war on them instead, we would just be able to land them, and we would just have to protect against the landing, or Russia, Ottoman, and Egypt we also couldn't fight. We couldn't fight those three. They demand independence, but no. And now we can maybe vassalize these guys. Yikes, that is quite a bit more infamy. We will also face Russia off the bat if we do this. So I guess they have a defensive pact with Russia for whatever reason. Okay, fair enough. You know, whatever, man. Whatever, man. I don't know why we can't declare against these guys. I don't understand it. We don't have a truce. We have an interest in the region. The region includes Oman, right? Yeah, Arabia includes Oman, so I'm not sure what all that's about, but okay. It's kind of the last little state we can go after, relatively easy. After this, it's going to be slow going in terms of expanding here, down here, but this is good for us. We do need to kind of grab a lot of this to form Arabia. We kind of want to get all of the Arabian states, but we have 7 out of 16 needed. There's more than 16 here. You know, going after Egypt is another way we could do this. But I don't think we can fight Egypt right now. We could rival them. Let's see, who are they rivaling? Kebab. I think Kebab considers us a rival. Yeah, they are rivaling us, so we will just rival Kebab right back. We will go into diplomatic actions and rivalry and rival Kebab. We could rival Great Qing, that's wild. Are we really, are we a major power now? No, we're still regional. About to finish attack. We finished Quinine, very nice. So now we will start on some stuff. This is starting to become very painful. Let's see, what can we do here? Vacuum canning is not terrible. I kind of steel railway cars is useless because we're not using much yet. Steam donkeys not spreading. I guess we go society and maybe we go labor movement here, and we start trying to get a lot of these tier 2 techs so we can go into steel frame buildings. Let's just double check that we have no infrastructure problems. I think we don't have any. Oh, but we are going to need some soon in Aleppo. So why don't we just put this at the front of the queue? Considering I think that the rails are relatively profitable anyways. And be off and away. Yeah, we're gonna have to delete another construction center, I think. Where's the unrealized taxes from? I think it's just tax, yeah. This is unfortunate. Yeah. That's not happy about it. We are paying more for interest than our current amount we are losing. But I'm hoping that this starts turning around a little bit as we get some more construction through. Farms to factories does get completed, which is nice. I would love the loyalists. If we can get, especially if we can activate the trade unionist things, which, okay, we're pretty far from, but if we can activate that, that'll be a big deal for us. This actually might be causing us quite a bit of pain as well. In terms of the landowners, they do not like the census suffrage idea, which only has 2.5%. I guess yeah, so I missed the fact that it stalled. We will take the tick though, because 2.5% is not nothing. Also, when I get to single digits, it seems like it succeeds more often than it should. The old authority. So we will just take the penalty, and then we have no chance of passing it, so we will come off of it. And then I think we switch back to wealth voting. Because we do want to trade the voting up to something else. The Intelligentsia aren't quite as happy with us, which is unfortunate. And these guys aren't as happy with us, so now we're having this... Yeah, our IG approval situation is not good. But we are making money now, so that is good. Once we get out of this hole, I want to decrease taxes to help with our legitimacy. you know, and try and get to a legitimate government. Currently, we've been running max taxes since like the start of the game to really ramp up construction, and I want to start pulling back on that if we can. Let's see. I guess we can keep building up glass. Glass is pretty profitable, and this is profitable. We will add more and try and get that up a little bit after we finish this railroad. It's such a shame to see some of the construction go, though. Not too keen on that. You know, we also really would love to try and abuse the economies of scale bonus, but it's a little bit tough here. I guess we'll up some of this. These are relatively profitable. And just kind of leave these. We can kind of expand in other areas too, because we will only have to pay for the railroad here. The elections in, Free Trade Party crushes it, as they've been doing. Unfortunately, we couldn't pass the new voting system before this, but okay. And this is kind of the most legitimate thing we can do for now. I think we maybe should have, early on, I think we did make a bit of a mistake switching to landed voting so early. I think we should have tried to get in more reforms that the Intelligentsia liked. Because... Alright, well this gives us something to do, I guess. But I think it has been impossible for us to put the Intelligentsia in government, so we haven't been able to you know, get rid of racial segregation and this sort of stuff, which we would really love to be able to do. Russia sides with us, which is nice, I suppose. Kind of weird. Usually they don't side with you for these sorts of things, but we'll take it, I guess. At some point we will want bad relations with Great Britain so we can subjugate trucial states. At some point we would like to know why we cannot start a play against Oman. Actually, why don't we just... Well, we can't start a play now because we have a play against us, but we should check later. And we're not making money anymore. Unfortunate. We are expanding the investment pool. So our construction goods are all paid? No, they don't pay for something in the queue. What do you not pay for? The art building? Weird. Okay. I mean, fair enough. Well, let's take a look. We could afford a couple more clothing things here before we will be running a little bit of a... Why are you not profitable? What's the matter? Grain is expensive? Why is grain so expensive in the market here? That's an ouchie. Boom booms are not being made at all. Why aren't you employing? Sulfur is a problem. Okay, sulfur is a problem. Got it. Alright, we can import from Prussia to Daddy's market. Daddy being Russia. Daddy, you should be solving a lot of these problems yourself. Silk is really... Let's create an import route for silk from Qing. Daddy... Alright, so Daddy's not taking care of trade routes. So we're going to take care of them. Or some of them. In order to make our businesses profitable. Oh, like, this is really expensive. Let's import. We'll import from Prussia. We don't really want to spend the convoys. Wood's expensive in the Russian market, go figure. I guess it means that's kind of expensive everywhere. Hardwood. Iron is what we really are trying to get the price down on. We can import it from Prussia, we can import it from Austria, and we can import it from the Americans. So let's do all those. Really try and crank down the price in order to make all of our industry a lot more profitable. Alright, I think that'll do it. Grain was expensive as well. We could probably import that from Qing. One nice thing about being in Russia's market is you can import stuff from Great Qing. Look at that amount. So I think this will all work out pretty well here. Now that we've fixed Daddy's market or imports a little bit. We might take one more tick of this and then try and switch to census suffrage instead. really painful trying to pass this through. It has been. But now that we fixed Daddy's market up a little bit, hopefully this starts to solve itself. We can, of course, also export some stuff that's too cheap. Like, we want tools to get expensive because we are building a lot of tools. It looks like there's no profitable route that we can really make. We wouldn't hate exporting this stuff. We already looked into exporting fertilizer. Why don't we look into importing this? Looks like can't do too much. We could import from Kiva. Here we go. After some of these trade routes have started to adjust, a bunch of businesses are more profitable. We are getting like 20k up on this transfer from where we were before, and the investment pool is also draining. Why is that draining alongside? Okay, so not 20k, but another like 13k, and so this will help to pull us out of this little deficit we've found ourselves in, which we should have responded a bit more aggressively to as well. You know, a little slow to start making these adjustments, but you also don't want to over adjust, so I don't know, maybe it's okay. This coming down is going to be a big deal. I wish it will come down from Great Qing. I guess let's take a look at Great Qing's market and make sure that we are importing and exporting from and to them accordingly. So I think we're exporting already to them tools. We're not. So let's start, because even though it's not profitable, I wonder if Russia is protecting the domestic supply of tools. We're trying to export to Great Qing as they're importing from Great Qing. Oh no, wait, they're trying to export as, yeah, sorry. We have to click on the Russian market. And just, we're going to take a quick look at the trade routes. Yeah, so Russia's exporting a ton of grain to Austria, so we don't like that, which is why we started that import. They're exporting wood. We don't like that either. They're exporting fabric. Don't like that. We don't like really their approach to the market. They're importing furniture. I guess we can try and make more furniture. They're exporting hardwood. Don't like that. We really don't like the way they are managing these trade routes because it is good for an agrarian society, not good for our economy. So maybe we actually don't want to be in Russia's market as much as we thought we did. I think we'll do it for now because we will be siphoning off pops a little bit better once we pass some of this discrimination, anti-discrimination laws, which we can't pass without getting the intelligentsia in power. Yeah, I really think we flubbed at the beginning, I guess. We should have tried to get this and this passed. Although, before in the past, I've had, like, the intelligentsia be a bigger part of the government, and I haven't had this weird alliance between the landowners and the industrialists, but this is, I guess, on the back of the corn laws making this guy a market liberal, and together these two just have too much clout to lose an election, basically. I think we did take a tick on wealth voting, so we'll... Unless this... Oh, popular playwright is a very nice one, so we're going to take a look at how important would this 20 prestige be to us. It looks like not very important. It's not going to really kick us up into anything, so we could get enactment chance. Or we could do this. We'll just take the enactment chance, and we'll try and get this through. Industrialists. Intelligentsia are now powerful. You know what? I'm actually going to stop bolstering these guys. And then I'm going to increase taxes a little bit here, so I can put in a couple more. So I can put in that, and then decrease taxes here. And then crank our way out of this faster. I think the industrialists are strong enough. And I kind of forgot I was bolstering them. And so now, with this extra authority, we're going to get out of this pretty quickly here. In fact, we might even be able to lower taxes, which will increase consumption. It'll increase standard of living. The increased standard of living will give us more migration, so we can siphon off pops better. So this will be nice. And then also going to, at the back of the queue, put in another construction center here, so we can start getting a little back up into things again. We have this auto-expanding. It is not profitable or well employed at all. But we should be able to, you know, attract a little bit more migration here as the standard of living cranks up a little bit. And we'll try and see, they're paying so much for their goods, which is a really bad thing. And one of the problems is, you know, clothes, grains, furniture. It's all expensive. We want grain to be cheap. Our people consume a lot of tobacco, though. So maybe we can make tobacco cheap. I think they might have an obsession with it. Not sure. We're just looking for a place we want to specialize in tobacco, where we can build it up. So, what's the standard of living here versus standard of living here? So, we're going to do it in here. Click that on auto expand, and we will try not to expand the other ones here, and just specialize in tobacco there. How legitimate are we? Yeah, so that we're nowhere near being able to lower taxes enough to put us into a new tier, but the standard of living should be coming up. You can even see it right here. It's coming up quite quickly from us lowering the taxes, and we will lower the taxes again, I think, once we get out of debt. Which will take a little bit minute, because we're increasing the construction again. I know we just decreased it. This is why I'd like to try and do it slowly. But I had forgotten that we could, you know, drop in a lot more a lot more taxes. Oh, city and plenty. I think we're fine taking this for a bunch of extra loyalists, especially loyalists who have political power. So this is going to give us plus approval. Let's take a look at how we are doing in that regard. Yeah, not the best, not the worst. We're gonna get another tick of wealth voting. We've taken a lot of ticks for new voting systems and not been very successful. We are just gonna take the enactment chance here. Admiral dies. Okay, well, we will recruit another one. We'll also take a look at generals. Which generals are available? We do not want landowners. Steam Donkey gets available. We will check that out in just a second, but we want to recruit the Admiral. I was trying to say Admiral and Navy at the same time. We will go with the rural guy. We're caring mostly about... Ooh, and we still need to turn on nitroglycerin in all these places, but we're having a hard time, I think, because there's not enough. These can't employ well enough. We gotta get the price of coal down in the market. So let's double check and see if we can import coal. It's really kind of expensive. We can import more from the Americans. We are already importing from several people into the market. I think that Russia might be exporting it. Really not a fan of how they're running things in terms of how we're trying to manage. But we will add coal level 1 in a bunch of places. We will also just up coal 1 level everywhere. And then we will go and we will set it on auto expand for all the coal, as well as just all the mining in general. So this will help with that problem. This is coming up. We did research steam donkeys, which uses coal. Fantastic. But it does decrease labor. Still making some money here. And the standard of living is coming up a bit more. I think we gotta try and go after the price of tobacco a little bit more. They are consuming it as like 7%, but they're paying a whole bunch extra. Interesting that they're consuming liquor. Our main culture has a taboo against liquor. So we will steam donkey everything now. And then we're about to finish labor movement. Mapuche uprising, very nice for us. I think we will need actually the bigger guy for this. We'll probably actually end up sending both guys over. But we'll get all of Mapuche in this. And so because of that, we will start our new colony here. I forgot to do it before. Which collabs can also... We're going to, first of all, just build a port here so we don't forget. We will be doing some of that. And then we'll have them make a dyes plantation and auto-expand the dyes. And then we need to research more tier 2 tech. I think we go dialectics. So that we can unlock the tier 3 tech. Russia sides with Mapuche. What the fuck? This is unreal. This is unreal in terms of luck. So we're just gonna load, but they have an interest in the region because of Argentina, because Argentina is a subject of ours. That's the only reason they have an interest in the region. So incredibly frustrating. We're gonna leave their market. Which of course is going to have catastrophic effects on us in the short term, but long term I just think that this is... There's too many annoying mechanics here going on. And they're also just exporting every type of good we're trying to get cheap. So we would much rather just import those goods from them. Alright, and of course we have to solve everything. How are we running a shortage of tools, though? We make a ton of tools, don't we? Don't we? Stuff will have to readjust a lot. We do know several things that we are going to have to import from them are going to be like our inputs. Right? Or maybe we just have really cheap steel or whatever. We'll import this from Russia, and Egypt, and kebab. Oh boy. I didn't realize we were starting to run all these penalties on infrastructure. I thought we were chilling. So this is also going to be a big problem. I think that this might... Okay. Let us make sure we have all of our government admins all the way up. We do. This is going to be a very uncomfortable adjustment. So we're going to do some of that too. So we're going to need a lot more bureaucracy. Let's see. They're cautious with us. That's unfortunate. Probably gonna try and get a trade agreement with Egypt then. Can. Sucks that they became cautious, but it is what it is. We are going to... Okay, we can deactivate all these trade routes that are inactive. And... Okay, we can't emphasize imports or exports of anything, but... Okay, so... We have... I think we want to keep that export route for fertilizer. That's kind of a big one. We do not need 3 export routes. Oh, they're just importing clothes from us. So I think we need to export clothes very, very badly to make the entire rest of the economy work. So we'll export to them, and we'll export to the Egyptians. And maybe we want to diplo acquire Amman. Alright, so we are exporting clothes to 2 people, which should make the clothes places employ, which drives up demand for the tools. I think we will need more dyes. We'll try and import them from Russia. We would love a trade agreement with Russia. I don't think they're going to swing for it because they are mad at us. This is very, very uncomfortable. Probably gonna have to own obligation to someone. Maybe we should have done something different. Okay. Stuff is starting to adjust. So tools are expensive. Our tooling workshops are not fully employed though, but I think we can export this. We can export it to Russia. Can export this. I think we can export it to Russia again. And we can try and import this stuff because we nope. Let's look at what's most expensive when we try and import that. A tooling workshop I think just needs a readjustment. I don't know what we have a demand for. I think we got human rights or something like this. Or dialectics. We'll do this. Adjustments here are always very uncomfortable. We will have to... Everything that's really, really cheap we want to try and be exporting unless we're explicitly, like, importing. So we can try and export some of this. We can export it to Russia. We're starting to fix some of this up. I'm gonna take the minus enactment chance. I want the Intelligentsia to be better. We also are going to need to pull people in our market to get migration. Man, this is so frustrating. That Russia's just, like, cock-blocking us. And declaring war on us, like, against our own native uprising? What is that, dude? I don't understand. Well, this is starting to adjust quite well. Alright. Yeah, it's just because they're cautious now. We do want to get a trade agreement with them so we get refunded all that bureaucracy. Transportation's not overly expensive anymore, so we can start using it for things. Why don't we make all of our places just wooden, yeah, to start. We can make skirmish infantry. I think we want to make ammunition somewhere else. Why don't we make the ammo here? Oh, we can't. Yeah. We just have skirmish infantry. What is this? What? Oh my god, I accidentally clicked. Fuck, man. Wow, just big sad this episode so far. I accidentally clicked join other side. I was like, how did we go to making money so fast? Well, that's wild. Imagine clicking that on an Iron Man run, though. Because I thought it was... I clicked switch sides. I thought it was declaring neutrality. Okay. Although why we were having problems relating to the not having enough infrastructure, that actually makes a ton of sense. Hale has an infrastructure problem. Can we solve that by turning... No? Well, we can add a port here. Okay, oh... Are we running a problem with engines or a problem with... Engines. Engines. But you can't employ. Man, that's annoying. Try and up that, and we will probably make an engine industry wherever we have like the most peasants. We're gonna create a motor industry. Actually, not here. Here, because we have no industry here. Although we have a really high level trade center that's handling all of our Russian volume. That one to finish first. Yikes. We can run more trade routes though. At least in terms of bureaucracy. Maybe we import for now? From the Russians. We gotta import some of this. From who? Alright, so... I guess we just take the most productive. Hardwood we want to import from Russia. Softwood we want to import from Russia. And this is starting to come into a much better place alongside the fact that we are not... I think our goods will be cheaper than Russia's, our inputs for a lot of stuff. In just a second here. Let's make sure we're importing this as well. Russia. That'll certainly dip the price of that. No defensive pact for you. We full occupied Bahrain. We are hemorrhaging money. All play and no work. Do we like this guy? Nah, he's hated. He's a moderate. Let's see what else we can recruit in terms of generals. Yeah, because we don't want a landowner, so he's too valuable. Austria wants a trade agreement. More than happy to do that. Oh, Austria's got this market. Okay. We'll accept. So because they got Egypt in their market, which is a new development, we actually want to do a large volume of trade with Austria. So we can export fine art to them. And then what's cheap for you guys? Fabric is cheap. then booze and grain. That's not profitable. Sugar is a little cheap. I think our sugar is pretty cheap though. Wine is cheap. Our pups don't really consume much wine. Fish is cheap. Iron is relatively cheap. And I think their coal is expensive, but in general we would want to be importing coal. That's not very profitable, but we'll stick with this for now. Please, wealth voter. There we go. Thank God. Yeah, we've been trying to do that for so long. Okay, so the people want poor laws. We are more than happy to do that. This will pass pretty easy, and it will make the trade unionists happy. They get placated. Are you? No, you're just neutral. That's unfortunate. We really want their bonuses. Are losing a bunch of money. Let's see what we can export. If we can export clothes to you boyos. Yeah, there we go. Exporting clothes. Let's see if we can export furniture. We can. Just at one level, but that's fine. We'll do the luxury goods to you as well. So our businesses get super profitable here. Because we are mainly in the clothing business. And we are still having a problem with dyes. So, let's see if we can solve that. Well, that's one way we can solve it. And another way is we can also import and try and fix... We do have rails in the queue. Of course, they need the engines. Dies. Alright, who will just give us the biggest amount and who's the most productive? And we just want a cross-section of these two things. I guess it's British. And maybe Xing as well? We really want to get the price of this stuff down. I wish we had more construction. We could like solve all of our problems much faster with more construction, because we are still waiting on these rails to finish too. Okay, the hard times. You're telling me yeah, we can't afford it. Annex Bahrain. The revolutionary Bahrain. And I mean, maybe we could join their market. Except we're considered part of a customs union for whatever reason. Not sure why that is. We cannot... we also cannot start playing... Oh, well, we can start playing with them because they're positive relations, but... they would join a customs union. How far are they from tributary? They're defending the borders, yep. Let's start damaging relations. We might want to annex Argentina at some point. We do want to try and pull other people into our customs union so we can siphon off pops. Russia. Alright, fine. We're just going to declare neutrality here. Freedom to starve. I think we'll just do this. Would love a trade agreement. We have one with Austria though. Still hemorrhaging a lot of cash. Paying less for the construction goods though. Gotta see if we can get this from Austria. Try and import a little bit of this from Austria again, because we don't have to pay the bureaucratic cost. Tools are a little expensive. I think that once we get these done, this should be taken care of. There's kind of a lot. It's always stressful leaving someone's market. There's like so much to do, especially the longer you've been entrenched in there like a tick. We weren't entrenched too long, but still very uncomfortable. Man, getting Hijaz is going to be a huge pain. We could bankroll. How much does a bankroll for them cost? Yeah, that's not just a little rich for our blood. We could vassalize. So right now Russia's... Oh, the Russia will defend the Clausman state, and I'm guessing they defend Lahej as well. So our ability to expand quickly here is kind of diminished here. Yeah, they're in the Russian sphere. And so we're gonna try and expand, yeah. Oh well, maybe we can get a 1v1 war pretty soon here with the Ottomans. And force them to release Iraq. That would be big. I don't think we're losing any infamy right now, so we kind of want to find a war somewhere. Let's damage relations with these boys. Can we vassalize you? We can. We're just going to save just in case someone sticks their finger in our pie, but... And then we'll vassalize them. I don't know, this run has felt very weird, like... Oh, there's no front. Okay, we gotta land them. That's fine, we do have a navy for that. We get poor laws, nice-ish. I just realized we probably actually will have to pay, like, out the ass for welfare, but that's fine. We're currently paying more in interest than we're losing. So we just have to... I don't know, keep this up, what we're doing. I think this will help to solve problems too. Spain signs with Hooligan, great. Okay, well, I still think we can fight this, because Spain has to land us, but it means they won't be backing down randomly. Probably need to mobilize both. Yeah, Spain's damaging relations, cool. Could switch to a different health system. I think we want the bureaucracy, though. See if we can do anything with the market. We are importing a ton for trying to make those work. I do think we gotta build somewhere else arms manufacturers. We're gonna build them close to the capital. Also, we have like a lot of stuff in the queue that we're trying to use to handle stuff. Do we still have infrastructure problems in Palestine? I guess we do. Is that just an employment problem on the rails? It is just an employment problem in the rails. They're going to give another 7 infrastructure once they fully employ. It's just in those spots. Oh, there also will need infra soon. Actually, what we can do here, I think you have, yeah, you just have like all these ports. So when it becomes a problem, we'll turn the ports on. Search of a better life, you're telling me. Yeah, well, you know... Do that. Would love to get their bonus on the petite bourgeoisie. That gives minus 1 interest rate. 2 arms. We're just gonna land Hooligan. Hope that's good enough. We're gonna land with our smaller guy. I think he'll be enough, and then the bigger guy will just protect our coast, basically, from getting our own landing on us. I hope that they didn't offer. We should just be able to wipe peace as long as, yeah, so we just have vassalized Bullion. Nothing was added for Spain. And so we'll be able to wipe peace Spain as soon as we enforce on Bullion, which we should be able to do after landing them and taking them all the way. So this will be nice. This is not so nice. Considering deleting a construction center, we can just increase taxes to get out of this as well. I think that maybe this is what we do. Would it send us down another tier? It would not. Let's do that. Colonization of Buenos Aires is completed. Should be able to fight this off pretty comfortably, but they are trying to land us in the capital, which is why we have this guy mobilized and just chilling in the capital instead of landing. Near them. Obviously them. Does tick them into unhappy, which is actually kind of annoying. Because we will be getting less tax income from a bunch of stuff. We'll take Bali. Standard of living still creeping up, despite the fact that we increased taxes, which is nice for us. Don't have too many people to siphon off pops from, which means the standard of living should kind of go up a bit, which will help with this radicalism stuff. And it looks like we're going to get enforcing on them and then just white peace out of here. A nice little war off. We do have zero infamy again, so we can look for another thing that's maybe kind of good. What is what? Oh, okay, it's because it doesn't. The investment pool transfer does not cover the dyes, but this is fine. We also really need the dyes, so yeah. Also really need the boom booms, but our boom boom place is not fully employing, and I can't figure out why. Is this PM just really so inefficient? Or you just not have enough people? Social Democratic Party gets formed. That is nice. Not gonna do very much. Let's see who's winning this election. Oh my god, finally the Liberal Party's projected. Just, oh wait, they're just slightly behind. They're like neck and neck. Wow. Very close. We really want the Liberal Party to win though. They're like just 10k votes behind. We gaslight Hooligan. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Guess we have to Diplo try and get this guy in. And they're pretty amenable to the getting into our customs union. I'm gonna stop damaging relations with them and try and get them to switch from Russia's to ours in terms of the customs union. Then we're gonna have to fight Egypt for that. Alright, what's making a lot of money? Tools. Tools are expensive in our market, so we are going to just do that. And then, in order to support that, I think we're gonna need rail. Make a rail like halfway through. Is your rail fully employed? No, you just built a port. So let's build a rail for you as well. Are we paying a lot in subsidies now? We are paying a lot in subsidies because the rails, the price of transportation has gotten cheap. So now what we can do is we can go into all this rural stuff and start turning on these PMs that make it so they use less labor, which will increase the price of transportation. As the price of transportation goes up, the price of, or the amount of the subsidy will go down, so you'll see this go down quite a bit off those, and if it doesn't, we'll just put in a new one. We're going to wait for the next Monday for the tick, or a big tick. Didn't come down too much. We do have quite a bit more railroads than we had before, so we'll turn on that, and we'll turn on steam donkeys. And now you're seeing it starting to come down. It's coming down about 500, so we can turn on a little bit more than 500. We could start turning on a little bit more. It's coming down even more. For whom the bell tolls, it tolls for these. And we're bringing the subsidy down more and more. Oop, definitely want to be on tools. And how about even more? So I haven't fully gotten rid of it, but it's down quite a lot. Now we've put it in just about everywhere. We get more max education investment, which is nice. We will go institutions, and we will up the education. We should have been on this before. We will see if we need any tax. Do not need taxes specifically anywhere, but I think we will build one here and one here. What did we just research? Research? Let's do research. I think it was probably society tech. We are trying to get in through here. Yeah, it was dialectics. We will get nationalism. Put a little authority bump. Yes. And looking at this subsidy, it's coming down. There's only one more PM we can turn on, and that is in the urban centers. We can turn this on, which will again is a labor-saving PM. We can also turn on philosophy department, which we will. So now, have we gotten the subsidies down to 0? No, not quite, but a lot cheaper. And we're starting to claw out of this. We are expanding the investment pool currently with full construction going. And Russia wants a trade agreement. This is fantastic for us. This is going to refund us a ton of bureaucracy so we can afford a lot of those institutions. And also, they will not be tariffing us anymore, so we will have more efficient trade routes with them. We're already importing fabric from them. We export. We can barely export fertilizer to them. It's slightly unprofitable. Can we import this from Russia? No, not really. We import this from Russia? No, not really. I think we already are importing that from Russia. But so when we were in the Russian market, we were paying like somewhere between 20 and 30% extra for all of our goods. Now we're only paying, 14% extra, and a lot of it is on clothes, which we are currently working to export. So we can't make clothes cheaper. I mean, we could avoid exporting them more, or just make sure that it's really profitable to export. But the market and the standard of living all is looking quite a lot better than it was in the Russians market. The problem is, who won the election? Free Trade Party. Oh, they crushed the... But I can put the Liberal Party in, though. Be somewhat legitimate, so now things are going to be really good, because we can start getting rid of this shit. I think we're going to start with going for total separation, assuming that no one in the government opposes it. The rural folk, well, the rural folk will get radicalized. Well, let's see if we can do this. we'll try and go for multiculturalism here. Making money. Things are turning around. It's been a bit of a painful escape from the Russian market. Our investment pool is just cranking up, so we can expand construction. We just have to be a little bit careful, because what we will be paying for is the wages, really. So we will up it by 1. Hopefully this arms facility serves to kind of decrease this action here. We do have expensive paper. We could make papelas somewhere else. We have expensive clippers and expensive tea. I think these are like fully employed. Oh, they're not even fully employed. Search for a better life. There are consequences we have to face. Hooligan starts damaging relations. Okay, bud. You got me. Okay. We could vassalize. Which will give us 4 infamy. We'd have to fight the Dutch East Indies. Not so keen on that. Maybe start bankrolling Oman here. As soon as we get an obligation, we can pull them into the market. Our devout leader dies. That's fine. We can't afford to pay for this. That's interesting. We somehow managed to get recognized. I think we just have to try and get stronger in a general sense, but if we can pull Egypt into our market and vassalize them, that would be huge. It's unfortunate the market with like Russia just like really wasn't working for us. Looks like Italy managed to get free somewhere. We do have to try and get recognition at some point. A lot of these wars are a lot more expensive for us because we're not recognized. We have positive relations, yeah, with Great Britain. Not that far from getting into their customs union. Looks like Russia is not automatically in against Liège. So we can try and puppet them. We could also just conquer. I think we're currently at 0 infamy, so conquering is kind of appealing. You know, just further expand in down here. But I think for now, I will call this an episode. We left Russia's market this episode because they were doing a lot of things we weren't liking. They were exporting all of like the input goods that we were using. And okay, we aren't going to be able to siphon off pops from them, which is unfortunate. We will get mass migration events, which is going to be nice. But our standard living is going to creep up. We won't have the most efficient industries because our standard living will get really high. Labor will be really expensive, but we will get mass migration events to help offset this. We also get some of the benefits of having high standard of living, you know. We will, like, our private schools will be pretty efficient. We will come up, you know, in terms of, like, literacy and, like, this type of stuff, so this will be nice. But, yeah, for the most part, it was just the pains of escaping their market and trying to balance the budget. You know, we're still paying 15K on the interest. You don't want to float interest as much as possible when you are playing an unrecognized country, because it's really inefficient. We are, of course, paying this out to our own pops, so it's not the worst deal, but it is, for the most part, making our economy really stratified. We would like the Liberals to start winning elections and try and take some clout away from, not a lot of clout, but some clout away from the Industrialists, try and get the trade unions up. And in order to do this, I think we have to try and get out of debt. So I think we're going to chill But here's the thing, the investment pool growing is something we don't want. It's got like 1 mil, so we're probably going to add a lot of construction like over time as well, even though we're trying to get out from this debt. It's just, yeah, so this is kind of the way things are going to be for a little bit. But anyways, hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do the YouTube algorithm stuff, and have a good day.